Hello and welcome back to The Talk. Now, a new survey by The Times has revealed almost three-quarters of priests in the Church of England believe Britain can no longer be described as a Christian country. The landmark survey polled 1,200 serving priests, revealing a historic shift in attitudes on some controversial subjects. They include the majority of priests wanting the Church to start conducting same-sex weddings and drop its opposition to premarital and gay sex. While the survey also revealed priests fear the decline in attendance will ultimately lead to extinction, the Bishop of Leeds, the Right Reverend Nick Baines, believes the Anglican Church has a distinct vocation that does not include seeking popularity. Well, I would disagree with him on that. I think you cannot you cannot run an organisation like the Church of England and not be slightly concerned about popularity. On the other hand, I think that this survey is a breath of fresh air. I think it shows that actually, if we are to believe the survey represents the majority as it claims to, then they are more progressive. You know, they being Church of England ordained priests are more progressive than the image they give off. And actually, I think there's an opportunity for the Church at the moment. Mindfulness and spirituality and wellness is a really massive industry across the globe at the moment. People are getting more in tune with that side of themselves. Now, it doesn't necessarily mean that they want to believe in everything that's written in the Bible, but also I think communities are lacking cohesion and a centre. We've lost our village shops, we've lost our pubs. Churches are still there. They're still having to keep the heating on. Empty, not being used. But it just seems to me that there's a gap in the market that the churches could fill.
The problem is that, unfortunately, too many church services are still far too boring. I mean, I was brought up having to go to church every single Sunday, and it was the same ritual, and I could recite the whole thing. You know, it was just nothing ever deviated, but it didn't mean anything to me as a child, and it was just too serious and too dismal. You've got to look to America, where, you know, religion is in a much more, the Christian faith anyway, is in a more healthy place, I think, because they have many more, well, I think they have many more exciting
certainly if you're looking at attendance.
But I'm not sure they're devoted in a healthy way. I mean, those southern preachers...
Well, they know how
yakety yak, it's God talking back.
Well, they make it interesting, don't they? I mean, it's better than empty churches. If you're
You're right.
A lot of those churches have translated here, like, you know, your young church plants, like your Hillsong and things like that. A lot of them have translated here as well, though.
Look, I'm Catholic and I go to church pretty much every Sunday. Kept that quiet. My other side of my family are all Muslim. I've grown up reading the Quran and reading the Bible. I don't believe any religion should be changing to be more popular for the culture. The problem we have in this country is
what about relevant? Instead, I'm not...
The Bible and the Quran are relevant. You just have to read them and make it apply to yourself.
Yeah.
What was taught back when Jesus was around, what was taught when Muhammad was preaching, they are still relevant lessons today if you apply them to yourselves. We should not be changing the doctrine of what made a religion to now become more popular. It's not a boy band. It's not X Factor. It's not a TV show.
I get that, but
it's
what
religion.
if nobody's listening?
But here's the thing: people are listening. The reason I'm so religious, Catholics are listening. We're still going strong. Islam is growing. Islam is growing faster than any other religion. And you talk about spirituality, then become a Buddhist. There's religion out there for anyone. You just have to actually want to do it.
It's not a pick and mix shop either, is it? I mean,
look, I don't agree with everything in the Bible, but I'm still a Catholic and I will still have that faith. I don't believe we should be twisting and adjusting it to make it more fun for people.
So you don't approve of Rotherham Cathedral turning the whole of the cathedral into a crazy golf course to get people in? They did do this. Ely Cathedral started having discos at the weekend. I actually went to the Gin Festival at Manchester Cathedral and got roaring drunk, along with a lot of other people. So this is what you're talking about. Yeah. And it's one way of getting people into the churches, but whether or not it works is very questionable. And with the Church of England, it just isn't working. And by the way, half the reason that people are deserting the Church of England is because Justin Welby does not understand his own congregation, who are conservative, mainly old people who don't want to know
and he let
about
everybody down during the pandemic. Anyway, moving on.